So in this video, I'm going to be talking to you about how to deal with bad days. When I say bad days, I mean really, really mean days where your whole environment is coming on you and you just can't deal with it. You just can't take it. You feel drained, your energy is drained, and there has been a complete collapse where too many things have gone wrong and you just don't have the energy to deal with anything. So how do you deal with a day like this? And especially if you're having many days like this, what do you do? So I have a complete action plan how to deal with this because I've faced extremely dark times in my life. I lost my father when I was 9 years old. He had cancer when I was 5. So from 5 to 9, I saw him with tumors all over his body, and he had paralysis, and eventually he passed away. I was sent to a boarding school which had a lot of violence there and substance abuse, and there was violence from teachers, students, seniors, you name it. And it was a very intense regime. So when I talk about dark times and bad days, I have seen them. And my mother was in debts, and there was just no way out. There was no way out. And I was in a collapsing emotional state where it was a downward spiral that was so dark that there was no way out. And I found myself getting into substances. So from that, pulling myself out, transforming my environment. And this is the time in my dark days, I would be dreaming about Ferraris, beautiful women, traveling the world, and all of these things. And I would create my state, I would recreate my state, and I would develop a strategy and a plan and an action plan, and it would happen. And I have traveled most of the world, and I have driven my favorite cars, and I've dated beautiful women, and I was just not in a position to do it. I was in India, in New Delhi, one of the most polluted cities in the whole world, by the way. My mom made $1,500, and I would be sitting in my room, had no money, and I didn't know what to do. So I not only know how to deal with bad days, but bad times in general. So I'm going to be talking what to do. The best thing that you can do when you're in a time like this is sit back, stop engaging, and think and strategize. What can get you out is a strategy. And that's all that you need is a strategy. And you gotta start identifying the problem here. Because just to diagnose the problem would be half the job done. If you can diagnose the problem, you would come up with a solution. The problem is that when we have a bad day, it's more like an emotion. We feel this dark cloud of emotion on us, and we don't understand what the hell this is. We don't even know what we are sad about. And I had many days where I would be sitting and I had this droopy face where everything is collapsing, and somebody asked me, what happened? And I'm like, I don't know. I don't know. It's very gloomy, extremely gloomy. So the moment I started to write things down, everything changed. Because you can't see things when they're in your head, but you can see them on a piece of paper. It's a very simple technique. I know that it might sound a little bit stupid. How can writing solve something? But it does. And never, not once in my life, ever, it has happened where I was in a gloomy state and I picked a pen and paper and I could not solve it. It has never happened. I was always able to solve it. And that's how you develop confidence to get out of that state. And the sooner, sometimes I'm stubborn, sometimes I don't want to write. But the sooner you get on that piece of paper and flush out what is it that the situation is, the sooner you will get out of it. So the moment you have a state crash, boom, phone is out. I'm not available to talk or anything. I'm just going out. You go out in the open sky and you start writing things down. What's bothering me? This item, this item, this item. At the family level, at the relationship level, at the date level, the girl left you. You were fired from your job. you lost money in the stock market, your health, you get a news around your health, you get a news about your mother's health. Recently my mother, a couple of years ago, she had a brain stroke, right? So things like this happen, and you got to write down, what's bothering you about that situation, and you got to write it down. Okay, what are the areas? Okay, mother's this, girlfriend's this, or it's not the girl that I thought I wanted and I want to change my girlfriend, or maybe my girlfriend left me, I feel alone, or, line items one by one in every area. Okay. And then you got to think about what you really want. Okay, in this area, this is what I want. What am I really looking for? I'm looking for my mom just to be healthy. Okay, why is she not healthy? Because of these reasons. What can she do about it? XYZ. Okay, how can you convince her to do that? You have a conversation with her. So you write things down. I am having a conflict with my brother. He's oppressing me, bullying me, financially controlling me, and I was going through all of these things. So, write that down. I'm having a problem with a shareholder. Boom, write that down. And then you start identifying, and then you know what you want to do. And then what you do is, once you've identified the problem, you identify what do you want in each of these areas. This is what I want. And then you start developing a strategy and a solution. Okay, what's the solution of dealing with the shareholder? Option A, option B, option C, option D. You have a strategy there. What's the situation to deal with my brother? Protocol 1, Protocol 2, Protocol 3, Protocol 4. Okay. What do you do with mom? I'm going to convince her to work out, to take care of her health, and doctor is not going to save her. She has to save her. I'm going to do the pitch. If it doesn't work, it's her choice. I can accept it. She has made a choice of not to work on her health. But I'm going to scare her and she's going to be fine. And I did scare her, and she's probably in the best shape of her life right now as we speak. So once you write things down, you can see clearly what the situation is. Okay, I don't have the girl that I want. Okay, what can I do about that? What can I do to find a better girl? My health is going down. Why? Because I don't have the time. Okay, what's the exercise that I can do that I love to do in the shortest amount of time possible that can take care of my health? I can go for running for 30 minutes, or I could do push-ups at home. So you could develop, or I could go play sports with a girl. So I combine two activities together, So you could come up with creative ways to solve a problem. I'm not making enough sales, or I'm not making enough salary. Oh, why do I think that this salary is not enough? Because these few expenses got built up, because my girlfriend is now living with me, and these are the increase in expenses which I didn't account for, and the taxes increased, and this and that happened, and there are a combination of things that you may discover. Okay, so this job, maybe it's not working. Maybe I could ask my boss for a raise. But wait a second, how do I ask him for a raise? I need to get some leverage first. So what does he need? And you think a little bit, maybe you get a raise, maybe you find something else, some other job. And a lot of the times, these issues will be intertwined into each other. Maybe you're not happy with the city that you're living in. I was really unhappy with New Delhi, where I was born, and it's one of the most polluted cities in the world. And I wanted to get out of there. My father passed away from cancer, and the doctor said it could be pollution. And I didn't want to be in that position. I wanted to get out of there, and I developed a plan, and I got out. But that plan, I didn't even know it was Delhi that was bothering me. I had to sit down and write a plan on a piece of paper. That's how I landed up in Dubai. And lo and behold, all my favorite supercars were there, and, I had a great time. So you got to sit down and you got to write down when you have a bad day. And you have to identify the problem and identify what you want. And then come up with a strategy in each and every area. And you will see miracles can happen with just a pen and piece of paper. Try this. Let me know what happened, and share your experience in the comment section. And I will talk to you soon.